Hello, welcome to the month in review for July 2021. I am Jonathan Moore, the lead game developer for Evil Pig Productions. I am joined today by Gilliam, if you will.
Gilliam?
Gilliam.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
You haven't heard Gilliam in a while?
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
I like how you fixed yourself from saying it's been a while to it's been a minute, just for fear of maybe the song coming out.
Oh, that song. I didn't know which one you were talking about for a second.
It's fine.
It's been a while.
What are you about to say, Gil?
I hope everybody's been enjoying the oven month, as I like to call July, because holy shit, it's always fucking hot.
You know what? You are correct. It has been pretty hot. I've been really inside most of the time, though.
This last weekend, I have not been inside because I've been building a shed.
Yeah, how is that going, by the way?
Yeah, so the annoying parts are pretty much done. We have the 4 walls up and the roof. The last thing is we have to do the outer wall for the... You know how a roof goes on top of things? If you have a triangular roof?
Yeah, typically.
It's not going to be...
Yeah.
You know, if the roof is not just a flat roof, it's going to be raised above the rest of the wall. Mm-hmm. So we still have to fill in that portion. So we have to cut the felt paper and slap that down with staples. That's not hard to do. Then we have to cut the side wall. That'll be the exterior wall, which is made out of fiberglass and cement. So that's fun. So you have to use a special saw blade for it, or else you'll fuck up your other blades. Not too hard to do, though. We had a family friend, co-worker of my mother and father, who just knows how to build houses. It's just something he picked up. He's never done it professionally, but he's built like 4 houses. He helped us a lot, so he had the equipment for it. Mostly he had the nail gun. That's the big thing, and he had the know-how.
Nail guns are typically a big thing to have.
We probably went through at least 200 nails.
Yeah. So despite my dad being a construction person, and he was in the military for... He was in the military for
new
Seabees.
John Lord just dropped.
He was part of the Seabees, so he would build like, the barracks and stuff overseas. Despite him being like that, I've never really built anything past a chicken coop or 2.
I mean, the basic idea of a chicken coop is the same thing as building a house. It's just a smaller scale.
I suppose. But, so you keep on saying building a house, you also just said building a shed. What is it? Is it a shed or is it a house?
Well, it's a shed that's going to be a doghouse.
Okay, so it's going to be a doghouse.
Yeah. It's going to be for Bella, Bevo, and Suki.
Okay, gotcha.
That way they're not constantly having to live in the same place. They're not going to have to stay in the RV with my parents.
Okay.
Because that would kind of suck.
Yeah, they are big dogs.
Yeah. Also, it gives them somewhere during the day that they can stay that's nice and cool, where they're not going to have to be running the camper van.
Okay, then. Yeah. Definitely.
Then we'll also be using it once we're building the house itself. They can stay there, so they're out of the way while we're doing construction and everything.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least I was confused as what it was going to be for whenever I saw the pictures of it, and was just like, is Gil going to live in a tiny home? What's going on?
I mean, I could live in it. I would have to get some form of shower nearby.
Fair.
Because it's out near Winchester, so there's not really like, you can't just do the normal thing of getting a gym subscription and using those showers. Because I know you laugh, but look, I've looked into being homeless before in case it ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things you can do best is find a cheap gym membership
and use the showers.
Some place to clean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
because it's a
gotcha.
lot easier to obtain jobs if you're clean.
Yeah.
Also, it gives you somewhere where you can stay out of the elements for a couple hours at a time. Anyways, let's get off the topic of homelessness.
Speaking of that, I recently had to go to the hospital, and now I'm paying for a hospital bill.
Yeah. Hey, it's better to go to the hospital and find out you're not dying than think you're dying.
This is true. However, my main segue was that we have a hospital cell for art commissions going on right now. For anyone interested, you can DM me on Discord, or you can send an email over at evilpigproductions@gmail.com, and we can talk commission stuff.
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you. Do you want to expand the commissions as well? Because to like landscape pieces and stuff that because landscape is the thing I'm best at doing.
Well,
You could add that. You could add that part on it. That may expand the repertoire of customer.
I mean, I would think that I would be able to do the landscape things. It's, I think, already basically in the commissions. Whenever you look at it, you can just do the basic scene or detailed scene. Technically, it would be detailed scene if you want a full landscape kind of picture. So yeah, no, we got it.
You know what we also have to talk about, John?
What is it,
Jackass
Gil?
4 trailer.
No, we don't have to talk about that. It is a thing that exists. It does not mean that we have to talk about it.
But our Lord and Savior,
No.
Steve E.O.
Steve E.O. Oh my god. Well, switching from that to something else. Jackass? What about Frackass? Oh, you know what? That makes me think of Primus Star. Stuff that we got done in Primus Star this month.
I finally finished the dock scene, and it turned out really well.
Yeah, and for any patrons, which you're going to be seeing this podcast first, you would have seen the doc scene on Patreon already. It was released.
I finally stopped doing that thing of, man, I need to add more and more to a piece. Because I have a bad habit of that.
It's a bad thing to do. You just got to understand when to actually stop. When there is enough detail. If there's too much detail, then it just gets overcrowded and overstimulating.
Yeah.
It's bad. Oh, my kidney is starting to hurt again.
See, you jinxed it. You played God.
It's gonna be fine. Another thing that we got done. Well, I got done for Primus Star was some of the rules for the second edition. I haven't really touched on the backgrounds too much recently. I've been mainly looking at some combat things. Let me look at it real fast just to make sure what exactly I've done. I know I've looked back at I didn't really change anything with species. I was just looking to see what exactly species did. Because at first I was thinking like, no, they don't really affect your skills or anything like that, but they do. But let me see here real fast. I believe I changed up. I don't know if I really changed up anything besides maybe adding a few things.
Do species like give you a certain bonus to certain skills, or do they lock you out of skills, or how does that work?
Species, it just gives you. You remember whenever you chose like Verdician, it gives you can allocate 5 points into mental skills or something like that. So it gives you an allocation bonus to a certain skill group.
Okay, because you have a higher aptitude.
Yeah. And let me see here.
Aptitude.
Vision. I edited vision into the actual rules of the game, so that way you understand what happens with what vision that you have.
I thought they were copyrighted by Marvel.
I'm not going to use the laugh track. You almost got me. All right, let me see here. I don't know why crafting and repairs is down. I was very confused about that, but that's
I kind
whatever.
of wish they had included Wonder Man in the MCU
Wonder
for the
Man?
Vision storyline. Yeah, Wonder Man. He's the guy that Vision got his brain patterns from.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought that in the movie he got it from the one stone
Yeah.
thing.
In the comics, this will be me vamping while you find the specific thing. Um,
Damage
Vision.
threshold.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing.
That was a really big thing that I added. Yes, damage threshold.
AKA how much your body can take before it just fucking rips in half.
Yeah, it's a set number. If you receive damage that is over that number, then you have a chance to have a limb cut off or destroyed. A limb or something that's equivalent to the limb.
What inspired the damage threshold again?
That would have been from the game Rifts. It would have been the massive
SPC
damage.
versus mega damage. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because there's just certain things that yeah, you may have 100 hit points or the equivalent of it, but if you take 70 all at once from a grenade, you're probably gonna lose an arm.
Yeah, so we got that going on for us now with damage threshold, which I'm really happy about that whole thing. If I remember correctly, there was also something else. That's right. I changed cover to instead of adding a bonus luck per turn, it just adds DR while you are in that specific color, light, medium, or heavy. That was one thing that I
So
changed.
DR is damage resistance, correct?
Yeah, damage. It negates the amount of damage that you're taking.
Okay. So it doesn't add AC.
No, there's no AC in the game.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the only thing that armor really gives you is DR, damage resistance, and technically bonus luck in the form of armor.
Yeah. It's not that they just have to. What was it again? It's almost. It's very easy to hit something in Rip or not in Primus, right? Typically.
Typically, I'm gonna have to go through testing and everything again with all of these new things that I've added
Yeah.
for,
And you
I guess,
listed out
quality
a
of
few of
life.
them.
Yeah, these are just a few things that I have added for quality of life. Primarily before with the testing, it was really anyone could hit anyone, and you're going to cause some form of damage. And no one, for some reason, the testing decided to use the dodge action, and also no one decided to use their powers or abilities typically. But I digress with that. Next testing, maybe they will. Oh man, the only thing I've eaten today was a banana. In other news,
That's not good.
I walked back into my room, my office, where I had eaten the banana, and it just smelled like banana in here. And I was like, dang, I'm walking into a jungle filled with bananas. My
That
office is a banana jungle.
your office is a banana jungle.
My office is a banana jungle. And I am the
Uh-huh.
banana king.
Uh-huh. You alright, bud?
Alright, so the last, the next background that I need to work on in Premise Star is criminal.
You damn dirty criminal.
Did I ever go through the backgrounds with you, Gil?
I know that there's one where you're like I thought there was one where you're basically very affluent, but I don't think we ever really went through them. No.
Okay then. Well, let's go through them real fast. We got the colonist. You're a basic bitch. That's all you are. But you know what? Sometimes it works.
Well, excuse you that I'm conquering land.
We got the Nomad. You live outside of the government sanctioned space. And you know what? you're better for it. Maybe I have no idea. You survived this long. You could be a
So,
spacer.
so you're a hippie.
A nomad is a hippie. I mean,
Yeah,
it's. I would imagine it's.
they're
I
against
guess
Vietnam, and
I don't know about that. I mean, I guess you could play a hippie nomad, but
face Vietnam.
nomad is just someone who doesn't want to live in government sanctioned space. They're all by themselves.
Do we have a planet that's the equivalent of space Vietnam?
No, no, we don't. Well, depends. What do you mean by the equivalent of space Vietnam? Are you meaning like the way that Vietnam is like not government wise, but how it looks?
But yeah, like there's kimchi. Uh,
Okay, now you're explaining food.
yeah.
This doesn't explain an entire planet. Food is. What are you talking about?
Hello, am I back?
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a phone call out of nowhere. So apologies for that.
Uh huh. No problem.
Anyways, I'm here.
So I'm. You said kimchi though. That doesn't explain anything. That's a food, not a
Isn't it a
like.
Vietnamese food?
Yeah, you saying a food does not say what a planet is. A planet is something else. You can say two things about a planet. You can say what it looks like, or maybe the government that's
Looks
on
like
the
it has
planet.
kimchi.
Okay, the next background that we have is Spacer, which is you basically just lived out in space on a ship your entire life.
Oh,
So
I thought it was somebody who they're the person you hire in a document to add double space to everything.
I don't know why you would hire someone to do that, but moving on. Next one is Smuggler, which is someone who illegally takes things across government borders.
Drugs?
It could be drugs. It could be something else. It could be, for
About
some
people.
reason, it could be people. It could have been a Shiba that, for some reason, the government doesn't accept Shibas.
What about slave trade?
We already talked about people. I would assume that whenever you say people, a slave trade and all of that would be incorporated into that if you really want to play that kind of character.
That's fair.
All right, corporate agent is the next one, which I mean, do I really need to explain what corporate agent is?
So it's Mr. Smith.
I get, yeah, Mr. Smith. I guess you could say.
Or is it Mr. Smithers?
It could be either.
Smithers.
Really? I mean,
Smithers.
oh my god. Shut up. I'm done with that. Now, moving on. Next, we have Squatter. You have lived your life in abandoned buildings.
So,
Uh,
so that's the homeless one.
yeah, that's homeless. If you want to be a homeless character, you got that
Does
one.
that give you a bonus to like survival skills?
It does. It does indeed.
All of the history skills are still in its own section, right?
Yes.
What would be a background that gives you a bonus to that?
How about you wait and we'll get to that, alright? I'm gonna go through all the backgrounds right
I'll
now.
play your fucking games.
Alright, next one is neat. Do you know what a neat is, Gil?
Yes, John, I do.
Oh, dang. Well, yeah,
They're not
that's.
very neat.
I mean, you could be a neat. You don't have to be a neat, though.
Neat.
A neat.
God, I wish I
Yeah,
had that soundbite.
the neat, you don't work or go to school. You don't get out much at all, actually, but it would seem that life had other plans for you. That is the actual description that I have for neat.
Does that make you start with very little cash?
Technically, you don't really start with cash from any of the backgrounds. It just gives you some equipment.
Can we make a variant of the Neat called a Smash player that they have an aversion to using deodorant?
Oh my god. Variant to the Neat, the cosplayer.
Can they earn money by streaming on Twitch?
Oh my god. Actually, no, hold on a second. We'll get there. Next up, we have the clubber.
There's an e-girl class?
It's not a class, Gil. It's a background. This is essentially your hobby. This is, I guess I wouldn't really say hobby. You don't really choose to be homeless as a hobby.
I would hope. Well, it depends. There are some LA kids.
Fair. But the next one is clubber. You just like to party all the time. That's what life is to you, just an endless party. And then criminal, where we left off. Criminal. You know what a criminal is. I don't really have to explain that. I hope I don't have to explain what a criminal is. After that, we got hired gun. You're a mercenary, hitman, or bodyguard. We have done some nasty things, but it was all for one thing. Money. Maybe. I don't know. It could be something else. Maybe you can make a variant on hired gun. It's just like, maybe it's all for one thing.
You could have
Family, Tom.
You could have a hired gun that's specifically that's called a fixer, and their whole thing is breaking kneecaps.
Oh my god.
Now, I don't want to do this to you, Jimmy, but you haven't been treating us good. You haven't been treating us good, Jimmy. We've been treating you good. We treat you like family.
Oh my god. So next up after that, we got security. You were a security officer. Dang, the people or corporate assets. Who knows? You were just security. You were making sure that things were safe. We next up after that, we got lone wolf. You've just been all alone. You don't really trust others. Maybe even hate others. Next up, guess what? We got streamer.
Wait, question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, lone wolf. How is that different than squatter?
How is that different than I mean, lone wolf. Life has either made you hate others or just not trust them. The only person you can really trust is yourself. Squatter, where you were homeless, lone wolf is just you chose to be away from people. And squatter,
Okay.
you actually lived in the government. Lone wolf, more than likely you lived in the wilderness.
Okay.
Or in abandoned areas.
Makes sense.
Like a squatter is that life was forced upon you. Lone wolf, you chose the life.
Oh,
yeah.
I just found out what that phone call was for. Apparently, the headphones that I ordered from Amazon so I could start using the good microphone, they were delivered to Bastrop. That's fun.
Dang,
So I'm gonna have to drive an hour and a half.
Maybe you could come and visit me while you're down.
Perhaps. I will be coming back Friday to dog sit.
Dang, I would appreciate that. Next up though is streamer. You know that's where
hot tub streamer.
You could be an e-girl, you could be an e-boy, whatever you want to be. You could just stream.
Is there a lingo called uwu talk?
Do you mean otaku? Maybe.
I don't want to disrespect otakus by saying they're all the uwu talk.
I mean, that's a type. Moving on though. Next up, we got doctor. Moving on to the more prestigious backgrounds. So we got doctor, then we got researcher, we got athlete, politician, lawyer.
Oh boy, a lawyer.
Yeah, dang. What do you have? Some kind of army? Guess what? We got a lawyer on our ship. Oh,
Depending on the context, a lawyer may be more effective.
After that, we got anarchist. So,
Right. So, hold on.
yeah, what's up?
An anarchist is in the same grouping as doctors and lawyers?
No, no. It's just where it's placed on the list currently.
Okay. Okay. I was like, oh yes, doctor, athlete, lawyer, the Joker.
The Joker. After anarchist, we got a star. So like a celebrity. Though I couldn't
Oh
use
boy,
celebrity.
a revolving ball of gas.
Then we got the military background. So you were part of some kind of military outfit. After that, we got scavenger. You just spent your times in junkyards, or you're essentially one of those hoarders on TLC. The extreme hoarders. Do you know what I'm talking about? That
Yes.
show. Yeah, you're essentially
Yes,
that. Yeah, you're a scavenger. You just keep junk all around you, and you look through it and you try and make things. So, yeah. After that, we got prostitute.
A different type of hoarder.
Yeah. After that, we got influencer. So
A different type of prostitute.
a social influencer. You kept tabs on your social media accounts and made an image for yourself to your followers.
Oh no, it's a Twitter account.
So
Is
we
there
got
an equivalent of Twitter and Primus?
um. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. But if you don't want to be an influencer, you can also be a trader. So you could just, make trade deals and sell things.
Oh, I thought you meant trader. Like
No,
a trade.
no, 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 not
I was like, that's interesting.
not like be like doing treachery or anything like that. No, a trader as in you're selling things. You're a merchant. Should I change it to merchant? Actually,
No, I mean, trader and merchant, they're synonyms.
fair, very fair. But yeah, so those are the current backgrounds that we have going on right now.
And they affect your skills.
Yes, they affect your
What else
skills.
do they affect?
They affect your skills. They also affect your starting equipment, and they also can give you a language depending on what you have, like what background you have.
Woo speak.
So, no, those are with skills. Those are lingos. The languages are different because guess what, Gil? I don't know if I told you this. There's like a common language now, depending on the government.
Yes, you did.
Okay, then yeah.
You told me this, and this is what's going to make it a lot easier and not rely on you giving translators to the party.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, now we got standard systems for each government. So we got Republic Standard, Syndicate Standard, and Collective Nation Standard.
Maybe you can make one of the detriments people could take is that they don't actually start with the language. That could bet more roleplay potential.
They don't actually start with the language?
Or like if you have you know how you said there's the loner, right?
The lone wolf?
Who lives outside of a government sector.
Hold on a second. Are you about to say, what if one of the detriments is they don't actually start off fluent in one of those languages?
Yeah.
Guess what? That's already a thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right? Nomad, you don't start off with one of those languages. Spacer, you don't start off with one of those languages. Lone wolf, you do not start off with one of those languages. But yeah, there's several things where you don't start off with all those languages. Actually, I think whenever I say several, I mean those. The scavenger, you don't start off with one of the languages. It's just funny to think about. You don't know how to speak. Oh, spacer, you don't start off with one of the languages. There we go. There's another one.
I mean, that makes sense. You're living out on your own in space, or in like its own little colony, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah,
So it makes sense that you wouldn't necessarily be living with people.
Yeah, we got that, and then of course it gives you starting equipment. Some things, for instance, corporate agent. You can start with a hypercycle or simple aerial vehicle. Number 2 is you can start with a yacht or 2 simple ground vehicles. Number 3, you can start with a hand.
Wait,
What's up?
wait, a yacht? A yacht?
Yeah, a yacht.
Huh.
You got a problem with that?
It's just funny.
I mean, you're a corporate agent.
Uh, oh yes. Did you take the corporate yacht to work today?
Listen, man, you're a fancy dude. You got money. Yeah, number 3, you start off with a hand and 5 advanced chips, or a wristwatch and expensive clothes. Make your choice.
I know the hand is a separate device, but saying you start off with a hand. Yay!
It's a health and navigation device, okay? What else do you want from me?
I know. It's just hilarious to say you start with a hand.
And slot number 4, you start off with communication device, head, or tablet with personal suite. And then number 5, briefcase or expensive alcohol. So you start off with all that stuff. You just make the decisions whenever it says or, of course.
Makes sense. Does the hoarder start off with a bunch of shit?
Let me see here. Scavenger. I haven't gotten to the scavenger stuff. And also, I've been making it so that it's a list of 5 different things. Like, 5 different things that can be a set. I read your corporate agent, so you know what it is. Yeah. Like, yeah.
That way you can select. It's customability without being completely customizable.
Yeah,
well,
you start off.
Yeah,
you start off with all 5 things. It's just in the 5 things you have an or. Sometimes, in fact, you don't even get the or. You just start off with whatever it says that you start off with. For instance, a smuggler instantly starts off with a number 1 simple aerial vehicle. You don't get an or with that. You get a simple aerial vehicle, whether you like it or not.
A simple aerial vehicle be a biplane?
No, it's more evolved than that. Honestly, I feel like I should probably add in more aerial vehicles like that, because most aerial vehicles, simpler included, you can go out to space with them.
Yeah, so you want some aerial vehicles that are atmosphere only.
Yeah.
Well, we can come up with that.
The only one that I have that is atmosphere only right now is the bomber.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too hard to come up with stuff that would be atmosphere only stuff.
Yeah.
You just gotta put the effort into thinking into a few of them. You can have a goblin cycle.
A goblin cycle?
Yeah, like what the Green Goblin rides.
Okay, so a hoverboard.
Well, it's a glider.
A glider.
No, not the new Goblin. The new Goblin rides the hoverboard. God, that was a stupid design.
I don't know why you have to be so angry with the new Goblin.
Look, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man 3, but
Would you say that you're a Spider fan?
Yes. Spider-fan, thank you very much. I can tell you said it without the hyphen.
I don't know how you can tell that.
It's one of my favorite comic panels that they say, and it's somebody speaking in and what we have Spider-Man here. Like they just mention him because he's part of the conversation or whatever. And then he says, actually it's Spider-Man. I can tell you said it without the hyphen.
Oh my God. Oh. I actually did it. /. You never want to do those.
I saw a trailer, or I saw a supposed poster.
Oh, what? I apparently there were some that were there were some backgrounds that were hidden. Oh my goodness! I just found one pirate background. If you wanted to be a pirate.
Wait, okay, like a space pirate? How does it? What kind of pirate are we
A
talking about?
space
Are we talking
pirate.
about
We're
somebody?
talking space pirate.
Okay, so the things that are around Saturn.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I guess. I guess in Primus Star we could make a space pirate colony around Saturn.
It would make sense.
Why though? Why would it make sense?
Why not?
I don't understand how it
Ju-
would make sense.
Jupiter gets rings, Saturn gets pirates.
Okay. I guess.
Because it's close. It's close to the booty. You know, Uranus.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be pronounced Uranus.
That deserved the laugh track.
No, I'm not going to do any laugh track. I'm not going to do any sound effects. It's a podcast.
Voices sound effects.
We gotta have an air of professionalism while we do these.
Professionalism on the Evil Pig podcast.
Listen, we gotta have an air of it, like a pinch of professionalism. I can stand for polished poop and talking about Steve-O and all these other weird things, but whenever it comes to sound effects, that's where I draw the fucking line. All right, we gotta have some kind of professionalism.
I'm gonna have to have Umber teach me how to add the quack to my keyboard.
If
I promise not to use it during podcasts.
Okay, then good. I was about to say, like, please.
Every
don't.
other interaction, though, will have a quack.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's pretty easy. You have voice mod, right?
Oh.
Oh, well, never mind. You're not going to be able to do it.
It's pretty easy. Actually, never mind. It's not. Fuck you.
Yeah, never mind. You're not going to be able to do it. You need voice mod. You need well, at least you need something that will actually act as a soundboard for you.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. You know, a soundboard is required to do soundboard things.
It's true.
I could just get a rubber duck.
You could, I suppose, if you really wanted to use just a rubber duck. While you're talking, just have it by your desk. I know for my early streams, I did that.
New item for Primus.
Okay.
And it can help improve your self-talk. The rubber ducky to squeeze. Or it can help whenever you're doing, or it can help on coding rolls.
Yes, that can actually help.
The rubber ducky of coding. I've heard that's apparently a thing.
It is a thing. It's a very important thing.
It gives you something to explain the code out to.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're talking through the code, you realize as you're talking it out, you typically realize what the issue is. Or you can explain the logic better.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's the same way that I would study for exams and things. As a many time you've joined the voice chat and I was like, hey, you want to learn about physiology? And it's like, no, I don't.
It's the same way that I would learn how to do things. So I understand completely.
The easiest way to do something is to try to word it in a way like you're explaining it to someone else. Because if you word it in a way like you're explaining it to someone else, you're automatically putting it in simpler terms. Because you're trying to explain it. Big brain.
Good job.
I have a brain sometimes.
What happens whenever you don't have a brain?
God fears.
Oh, okay. The character sheet changed a whole lot. That's another thing that Primus Star is.
Yeah, you like. I like the new design. It's more streamlined.
Yes.
And the stats that like go together are together. I know that's a horrible description. But I swear I can be eloquent. I think.
I understand where you're coming from, and yes, it does. Everything is there.
Do you have is there a separate section on it to write out your ship's stats and everything?
Technically, that's just in the assets.
Oh.
The only other thing that you could do that with would just be on a separate sheet of paper, or should we make a ship character sheet?
I think we should make a ship character sheet. Ship/mecha character sheet.
Okay. I guess we could do that.
That could be fun. Did I ever show you the character sheet for that other RPG that I'm trying to show you, Rifts? The one that's like 7 pages long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's aim to not go that big.
Yes.
Because that's overly big.
I would imagine that the ship and mech sheet would both just be 1 page.
Yeah. Actually, what mechs are in Primus?
Not many right now. Technically, they're also it's more focused on customization with them, like make your own mech.
Ah, fair enough.
Same with the ships now.
I wonder if it would be useful then to create like 5 baseline ones that then you can take the parts off of and then have a bunch of other parts. That makes sense?
There we go to the mechs real fast. Because we already have 3 baseline ones. Combat, Recon, and Work.
I'm imagining it like those action figures, that you could buy, and you could like put the different arms from the different action figures like that.
Yeah.
I only had a few of those as a kid, but they were pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's Worker, Combat, and Heavy, actually.
Is Heavy just like... What is Heavy? Is it just a bigger robot?
It's just a bigger robot, yep.
Is it Pacific Rim sized?
No, it's still the size of a combat thing. It'll just be more.
It's just a thick boy.
Yeah, it's thick. It's clunky. It's got the chunk in its trunk.
It's got that badonkadonk.
Yeah, sure. And we already have ship creation stuff I'm seeing here, which is essentially just choosing the type of fuselage you're using, your cockpit, the type of engine that you're using, the type of generator that you're using, and then adding on wings, thrusters, and pylons.
Is there a big drill attachment?
To the mechs?
Yes.
I don't think that we actually have the mech crafting thing up just yet, so let me go ahead and go over to this separate section for you. Is it in expanded? I think it is. No, it is not. I remember now. There it is. We have also been adding in the extra weapons too. That's something else that I've been working on every so often. And let's see here. So, arms. We've got the energy cannon, missile launcher, Gatling gun, plated shield, plasma sword, hammer, welder, strengthened limbs, or armored. We do not have a giant drill. Do we want to add a drill?
Do you think people would like having a big drill?
I know a few set of people who would like having a big drill.
Big drill.
All right, so we got a drill on the arms now.
Yay, we can now pierce the heavens.
And
as we begin to rush.
Oh my god. We also got the head slots, the body slots, and leg slots. And those all have different things that you can add on to them. For instance, the head slot, you can have an airtight seal, so that way you can actually go into places that don't have any oxygen or are fatal. So hell yeah.
Yay!
You can have your mech in space.
One day I'm gonna have to look into the ship creation process for Primus.
We are gonna have
I
to
don't
look
know.
into it whenever we're testing, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Same thing with mechs.
mechs are fun.
Oh yeah, so here's all the sea vehicles that we have that I've added. We got the raft, we got the dinghy, we got the yacht, we got the skipper, we got the ski jet, we got a mini sub, we got a submarine, we got a cargo ship, and we got a cruise
5
liner.
foot long sub.
Yep, only 5 feet long.
Who
Good
needs
luck.
more?
Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh, it's starting to hurt again. Oh, I'm trying to make it through.
You'll make it through. I
Um,
believe in you.
New character enhancements also that we need to add. I remember that.
Enhancements? Like
Yeah.
cybernetic stuffs?
Yeah, cybernetic enhancements. So I still need to add those. Honestly, a lot of the stuff from the equipment section, I've added a lot of it to the game already. So I'm
That's good.
doing good on that. I basically went through the ships and was just like, nope, not doing this. And I just made it so that it's basic ships, and it's like, all right, you can build your own ships.
Just give people the rules for building their own ship, and then they'll make their own ship.
Mm-hmm. I also gave them basic ships that they can get, which were just ships that were made by different corporations.
And
Like-
also, so GM can have already done things.
Yes. It's like you are attacked by the flagship of the pirate fleet, Zircon.
Zircon?
Zircon.
What series is it? The Zerg? I feel like that isn't that a species?
Yes, that's from StarCraft.
Ah,
I would play as the Zerg a whole lot whenever I would play StarCraft. It was either them or the Protean. Do you really like playing as the Terran? Not really liking.
weren't the Terran just the basic humans?
Yep, they were just basic humans. Their ability set was not very good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was. I could see how you could utilize it, and it would be really good. But for my kind of playstyle, nah.
Zerg is just rush, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was overwhelmed with numbers.
Yes. Yeah, Zerg was Rush, and Protean was more of the turtle. And then Terran were balanced in between the two. I guess is a way that you could look at it.
I wonder when we started using the term turtle.
Whenever we looked at turtles, and we were just like, you know what?
Not for that. Okay, yeah, I realize now. God damn it!
Well, I'm just letting you know. As a biology person, I thought that maybe you should know that.
So, one thing I've done a little bit of research into the evolutionary history of turtles, just because I was curious.
Okay.
We don't exactly. It's kind of unclear exactly how they came about. Like, we don't know their exact evolutionary relationship. And it's just interesting to think. Like, because turtles have beaks, right? But the current process is that they used to have teeth and a normal jaw, and then they got beaks? I don't know.
So
Also,
we thought that turtles used to have teeth?
that's the current theory with the common ancestors before what we would call a modern turtle. But we've also seen, oh God, I would have to look back into it, but there's a nice channel I watch that every week they do a new animal spotlight, and they also do some evolutionary history videos. So they're really fun. They covered turtles, the evolutionary history of turtles, and how strange they are, and how we don't really know exactly how they relate to other reptiles. And they could have, like, where they branched off from dinosaurs, there were like two clades it could have been part of, but it could have been two clades that actually then convergently evolved to modern turtles. They're weird.
Okay.
I also learned recently that turtles, all aquatic turtles, are actually omnivorous, but all tortoise are herbivores. That was neat.
Okay.
Which I
Interesting.
never had really thought about a turtle eating meat before, but it makes sense.
Turtle eating meat. I mean,
Like you imagine a snapping turtle eating meat. That's
yeah,
obvious,
yeah,
right?
I can imagine a snapping turtle
But you
eating
never
meat.
imagine just like a little red-eared slider. Just
It's odd. Also, I like how you said you're just like, I have no idea. I look at a
well,
turtle
that's
and I
I
say, hey,
call
that's
them
a
little
turtle.
tiny ones. Well, they're the ones that have the red markings along the side of their head. You've definitely seen one before.
I probably have, but I typically just look at a turtle and say that's
And
a
that new
turtle.
Nickelodeon series for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that has way too good of animation for what it is. Like, it's great animation. Where
I
they're all
don't.
different types of turtles. Leonardo is a red-eared slider.
Gotcha. I don't watch Nickelodeon. I don't have any cable or anything like that.
Oh, I don't have cable. I'll have to show you the final fight scene. It's like a Gurren Lagann fight scene.
Oh my god, really?
Yes,
Going all out, I guess.
I love it. It's fucking great.
Oh my god. Oh. Alright, but yeah, so I have been working a lot on Primus Star. If that wasn't like fully aware. I know that I want to now I kind of want to actually go through with Gil and make mech sheets and ship sheets and everything. Figure all that out. I know that we still need to do the test case for just a group of 4 soldiers. I don't know when Gil will be available for that.
Whatever you need me to, boss. Currently I'm still waiting on. Oh, we can do a little update from last month's podcast because I talked about how I applied to a ton of jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gotten 2 prospective ones lined up. One with El Cerrito Animal Clinic, which is very good. I don't know if any of the Patreons are in the area that I live in, but it's a very small clinic. But it's a good clinic, at least from what I can tell. I think they're very good. Interviewed there last Friday, but the vet wasn't actually there, so I interviewed with just the vet techs. They're currently reviewing candidates, and I might get a callback interview. If I can, that will be perfect because then I'll be able to get paid and also get the hours I need to become a better applicant for the vet program. And I also have one lined up at a hospital as an ER tech. So yay.
Hell yeah.
It just goes to show you, you just have to send out like 60 plus applications and maybe 2 will get back to you.
I find it interesting that one is a veterinary clinic, the other one is in an ER.
Yeah. Well, that one's because connections through family.
Gotcha, yeah.
Specifically, people that were met at an emergency nursing association meeting.
Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. So that does make sense. But it is a funny, just big separation between veterinary clinic and then ER.
Yeah. Technically both in the medical field.
I mean, yeah, technically. That is true. One, you're fixing up pets and animals. The other one, you're fixing up people who might have an appendix burst, might have kidney stones. You never know.
Actually, rant time here.
Okay.
It's kind of some bullshit that people consider veterinarians, like, but for some reason it seems the common consensus is veterinarians are just less smart doctors.
Which is BS, because you have to understand another thing's biology and not a human's biology.
Multiple other things biology.
Exactly. So you have more knowledge on that.
Your patients can't talk back and tell you how they're feeling.
Exactly. You have to understand yourself.
It's kind of like I don't know why. Even as a kid, in my head I was like, oh, it's probably easier to become a vet than it is like, a medical doctor. No, that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's just because typically medical doctors are considered to know more human Maybe it's just we think, we're human, so we know more about the common human afflictions. So we know that there's a bunch. Or maybe we just have more solutions for human conditions than we do have for animals.
Do you want to know what I think the whole thing is? It's because we're humans, and if there's somebody who knows how to heal a human, a monkey brain says, oh, he knows how to fix us. Fix me. That's good. Other person knows how to fix dog. I don't see how that's useful to me. I'm not dog.
That is also true. I think it's also, typically as a veterinarian, it's a wider lake, but it's not as deep. The understanding, unless you are a specialist in one particular type of animal. I don't know. Also,
I can see that too,
the thing of, I'm a veterinarian. In zombie apocalypse media, it's like, oh, do we have anybody who knows medical things? Well, I'm a vet tech or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, then they don't, so I might be able to help. And it's like, no, you'd be able to, all of the things that you need to know as a vet tech are the same things you need to know as an ER tech. You need to know how to set IVs, stick needles in people, do sutures, do some, all of the same stuff. So I never understood, in the context of zombie apocalypse,
yes, Gil.
being a vet will be just as fucking useful as being a normal doctor. Because guess what? As a doctor, you're probably gonna not have access to most of the fucking medications. That's what your knowledge is. Congratulations, you know all these medications we can't get. Do you know how to manufacture them? No? Fuck you. Paramedic is just as useful as some fucker who knows how to prescribe medication in the apocalypse. A paramedic is more useful because they know how to set bones and they have experience doing it.
What you need is a field medic from the military.
Yeah.
Somebody who just goes in there with nothing.
Actually, no. I would prefer a paramedic. You want to know why?
Why?
Because a field medic. Thankfully, we're not at wartime right now, so they're very well trained. But likelihood is they don't have much actual
experience,
real world experience. Meanwhile, paramedics, every day people do stupid shit.
I'm a person. I can attest to that.
I'm a person. I do stupid shit all the time.
It's true.
So, a paramedic would probably be. I would prefer a paramedic over somebody who's I've just graduated from medical school. I have 10 years of education, blah, 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 blah. It's like, nah, fuck you. I want the paramedic on my team. Or the vet. Also, a vet would be useful if you ever want to start farming and agriculture.
Alright, so what exactly are we saying here? Our zombie apocalypse survival group would consist of a vet and paramedic, or just a vet?
Preferably both.
Preferably both?
The more people you have with medical knowledge, the better.
All right, so let's see here. Let's say you get 4 people. 4 people.
I get to describe their skill set. like their primary skill set, like their occupation.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thought experiment. Okay, I'm down. Am I including myself in this group for survival, or am I just
I'm gonna
crafting a
say
four-person survival group excluding us?
I am going to say that this is excluding both of us. This is like
So we're making our own Left 4 Dead crew,
yeah, essentially.
but not just the shoot zombies.
Yeah, no, this is survival. This is trying to thrive in this wasteland.
Okay. I would definitely want, and just 4 people,
Just 4 people.
right?
That's it.
Okay. And we don't have to worry about reproduction or anything.
No, we do not have to worry about reproduction.
Okay, because then that changes the ratio of men to women you want.
You don't really have to say whether they're a man or a woman. You just have to say what their occupation is. That's all.
Ah. Well, I would definitely. Well, shit. Now it's harder. Because if we're going for long-term survival, you need a farmer.
Okay.
Specifically, you need a sustainable farmer that doesn't have a massive farm where they use mostly equipment. You need somebody who knows how to farm by hand. Because I assume we're not going to have the massive tilling machines and everything. It's an apocalypse, or they won't.
Yeah.
So you need a good old boy. You need a farmer.
Okay.
That covers agricultural and livestock, if you can find that. You definitely want a paramedic.
Okay.
Preferably, I would probably want a what is it? They're like they're the medical crew that are sent on like vacations with people. I feel like that would be useful. Like what is it? The ones who lead hikes through like the Rocky Mountains and
Yeah,
stuff like
I know
that.
what you're talking about. I just don't know what they're called.
I would want one of those people because one, they're going to have the necessary medical training for setting bones and stuff, and they're going to have land navigation abilities and other survival skills.
Okay. So you want someone who's like a Sherpa, almost.
What's a Sherpa?
Someone who guides you through the mountains.
Oh.
But it's not fully a Sherpa. It's someone else. It's like a Sherpa who has some medical training. Honestly, which might actually just be a Sherpa. I have no idea.
Honestly, could be a Sherpa. Don't. So we covered somebody for land navigation and stuff, and also medical needs. We covered somebody for food and that. What kind of zombies are we talking about here? Are we talking about 28 Days Later zombies or Night of the Living Dead zombies?
I'm not going to tell you what kind of zombies. You're just going to select a 4-man group. That's all you need to do. Okay, so you use 2 of your slots, right? Because the Sherpa was one of the slots. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I want a carpenter.
Okay.
Carpenters are useful because you're going to have to be able to build shelter, and they're craftsmen, so they can learn the other things. So long as they have instructions and they know how to build quite a few things themselves, they're handy with tools. Typically pretty strong people. Hardy. Then I would really probably maybe an ecologist.
Okay.
So I want somebody with scientific knowledge. My first thought was engineer, somebody who knows how to make, because eventually they could either scavenge, repair, or create a generator and things. Like somebody who knows the principles of that. But now I'm thinking about it, a carpenter they may be able to find other people and everything, but an ecologist might work better because that's knowledge of wildlife and also the biological sciences and chemistry, at least a bit. Maybe a chemist would be better.
No, I would go with ecologist. Because whenever you get down to chemist, engineering, and things like that, I feel like those are more niche groups for a community. You want to start off with,
we're saying this is our core group that's starting, and then they can find the people who have the best chance of surviving and finding others.
maybe not even finding others, just as the community grows, maybe there's someone who is bird and they start to, get into engineering and they learn the basics and everything.
Fair enough. And yeah, probably an ecologist or some other biological science. I mean, I'm a bit biased.
I mean, I can understand that. You would want someone who actually understands the things. I was going to say maybe a botanist. You said an ecologist, and I was like, okay, I can go with ecologist.
They would know. They would know a bit about plants, but a botanist would definitely know more about uh, raising, growing, foraging, all that. But I went with ecologist because that's a general. Ecologists focus on ecology. Ecology is what between the fauna and the flora.
So there you go. There you go. Ecologist
So what's
and the
your team?
farmer. I mean, I wouldn't really change much, honestly. That seems like a solid team right there. Primarily because it does cover all of the bases.
I think it does.
I
The most important are the carpenter and the farmer for
Yeah.
long-term survival.
I
Short-term
would.
survival is probably the Sherpa.
I would probably replace the Sherpa with something else, honestly, in my team. I would more than likely no. I would more than likely replace the Sherpa with
A bard.
more than likely a. I know we were saying it's like they don't really have much like on hands experience, but I'm gonna say a field medic.
Oh yeah, that works. They would also know how to feed people probably a bit better and structure it.
And
Working as a team.
also they know how to actually use guns more than likely than the others.
Yeah, professional training.
Mm-hmm.
Farm boy definitely knows.
Oh yeah, Farm Boy definitely knows. And I'm not saying that they don't know anything about guns. I'm just saying that there is an actual military person in there now.
E.
So that could help. So, and they also have some knowledge on medical.
Building these theoretical teams are always fun because it's fun to imagine how far it would go and how they interact with the zombie media we already know. It's also interesting how far zombies have come from the old, where they started out through voodoo tradition, and how they were really just slaves, basically.
Mm-hmm. With the powder that they blow on them.
With a powder and sometimes a hot iron rod that's shoved through the tongue and or part of the brain.
I love voodoo practices. Lovely. Oh my. Okay, calm down there, Gil. You okay? You good?
What happened?
Okay, your microphone just like it sounded like you were trying to eat it.
Oh, that's weird.
It's all good now though.
Most OP zombies are definitely the ones from Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Are made by that toxin because they can literally survive as just a head and wiggle.
There was I can't remember what the original like idea for the movie Zombie, like what it was supposed to represent. Was it
Fruitism?
I feel like it was supposed to represent some kind of conformity thing. I'm not totally sure though. I'm not. I feel like it was some kind of conformity thing, or it was. I don't know. I don't know. It was supposed to be some
Oh,
kind of human thing. What's up?
are there zombies in Primus? Is there a? Are we gonna make that as a disease type or whatever?
There are no zombies currently in Primus. The only thing that's close to it would be the Abomination.
I thought
And
that
a,
was a Marvel character.
and another thing called a Brute. So those are the only things that are closest to them.
Isn't there a zombie virus in Star Wars?
I have no idea. I haven't
I think
really,
there was.
haven't really looked at Star Wars in a while, so I don't know. There might be. Um, Honestly, I still need to go through all of the medical stuff in Primus Star. I started to add that a few days ago.
Maybe we can have a paramedic on the team.
I mean, there is the class medic, so
So, what medical things do you have right now? Like, are you talking about adding skills that would be for it, or?
I mean, we already had the skill medical, so there's that. Oh, I think it actually is just called medic, which is a class as well, known as medic. So that's interesting. Might need to change that. I'm not totally sure. No, it's things like lupus or
So, adding in
it's
diseases?
what's up?
So, adding in diseases?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's already kind of in there. It was already a thing in the expand universe, and now I'm just adding it into the actual book. Why are you saying
Thinking of what other things that could be added.
Uh, got a whole list. I'm not going to open it back up though. It is about that time for us to end. I died because of my pain.
You're doing
So
well. It'll pass eventually.
yeah, yeah. Um,
That'll be the worst pain of it, though, which won't be fun.
well, here's to hoping that's actually going to happen soon. Um, but guys, this has been the month in review for July 2021. We have gotten a lot of stuff done. And honestly, I feel like this podcast has been one where we were able to stay on topic. Honestly, almost throughout the entire podcast, we didn't really go off topic with
The
anything.
only thing we went on off topic with is the zombie discussion, but we
That is
always have to have a
true.
little.
That
But
is
yeah, but
true.
that's always just a little. You gotta have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, fair.
It's kind of like whenever you finish a day at work and you just talk with the coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it like that. Nice little zombie talk.
Okay, fair, fair. I honestly, I haven't really worked on it or anything. By the way, guys, I am still trying to figure out exactly how I want the things to spawn with music. It's still in the development stage, and I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want things to work. But it is still there. Terminal velocity is definitely still there. I will be working on it in the background, but I'm more focused, I think, on Primus Star Second Edition for the time being until I actually figure out what I want from terminal velocity. But guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been the month in review for July 2021. I have been Jonathan Moore, the lead game designer, joined by Gil, our what are you now, art lad?
I think is what it was. Yes.
Okay, okay. So hell yeah. And art lad, what's the next thing you're gonna be working on?
So I can either do the bar scene, but I was thinking about the space fight scene.
Okay. Space fight scene would
Also,
be no people.
yes. The other thing I thought about was the list of enemies and going through a few of those because I still have the ideas for the behemoth. So
Okay.
might be doing some varied stuff.
Okay then, fair. All right
Just
then.
something that does not a large scene like the dock scene again. If I do the bar scene this time, it's going to be a much more intimate space, so I don't have to draw 50 tiny people.
Yes. Which is
I'm
why I
not going to do
sent you
that to
that
myself
one.
again.
I sent you that one thing of
Yeah.
But hell
I
yeah,
might have a
guys.
robot drinking from an oil can.
Oh, another thing as well. We gotta work on layers and separation on like what you're working on. Make sure that everything is separate.
Yep.
Yeah. So we gotta work on that as well. Um, I know whenever I first started doing stuff, I was kind of like you with whenever I looked at the working files for the doc scene. But we do gotta work on making things more to make edits or anything like that if we need to make edits.
Will do, will do.
Alright, but guys, oh, I'm gonna go and I don't know, maybe take some more pain meds. Thank you so much for watching, and can't wait to see you next month. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.